You can build an incredible life and still leave nothing behind. You can have the title, the income, the structure. And when it's all said and done, nothing about how you lived continues. Because building something and leaving something behind are not the same. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Shou Talks. If you're new here, this isn't just a podcast, it's a house. In every episode, we step into a different room so that we can understand how to build a life that actually stands. We've laid the foundation, we've built discipline, we've stretched in becoming, we've defined our covenant. And last episode, we stepped into the enterprise room. We talked about what it meant to build, to execute, to create something real. But after you build, there's a deeper question. What actually lasts? Let's walk into the legacy room. I want to define this clearly. Legacy is not what you build. Legacy is what remains. Enterprise is execution. Legacy is endurance. You can build a business and leave no values behind. You can achieve success and leave no impact behind. You can create something impressive that disappears the moment you stop maintaining it. Legacy is different. Legacy is about what continues in people, in patterns, in principles because you existed. And whether you realize it or not, you're already leaving one. For a long time, I thought building was enough. I thought if I was progressing, if I was showing up, if I was handling responsibilities, I thought that meant I was doing it right. But there was a moment I had to slow down and ask myself, if I keep building like this, what actually continues? Not what looks good, not what feels productive, but what carries forward. Because I started to notice that there are things we inherit without anyone ever sitting us down to teach them. Mindsets, habits, emotional patterns. And I had to decide, am I reinforcing this or am I changing it? That's when it clicked. Legacy isn't later, it's now. And then I came across 3 points. Point number 1, you're already creating a legacy. You don't start leaving a legacy when you make it. You're doing it in real time by how you live, by what you tolerate, by what you normalize. People don't just hear you, they study you. So even if you never thought about legacy before, you're already being watched. You're already being mirrored. Point number 2, what you don't address, you pass down. This is where it gets uncomfortable. Because legacy isn't just about what you do right. It's about what you avoid, the boundaries you don't set, the conversations you don't have, the healing you delay. That doesn't stop with you, it transfers. So if you're not intentional, you're not neutral. You're just continuing something. Point number 3, legacy is built in consistency, not moments. Legacy is not one big decision. It's your daily patterns. It's how you respond under pressure, how you show up when it's inconvenient, how you align your actions with your values. Because over time, consistency becomes culture, and culture becomes inheritance. There was a point where I actually had to check myself because I realized there were gaps between what I said mattered to me and how I was actually living. And that mattered more than I wanted to admit. Because if nothing changed, that gap would become something my sons inherit. And I did not want that. So I started making different choices, not perfect ones, but intentional ones. Speaking up when I used to stay quiet, holding standards I used to bend, choosing discipline when it was easier not to. And what I learned is this: legacy is not what you claim, it's what your life confirms. I want you to sit with this and don't rush it. Where in your life are you creating impact without intention? What patterns are you holding onto that you know you shouldn't continue? What would you change if you started living like someone who's learning from your life? And be honest with yourself. If your life became someone else's blueprint, what would they inherit? Let's bring this into your day. Legacy doesn't require a complete life overhaul. It requires awareness and one intentional shift. Start small. Notice your patterns. Not what you plan, but what you repeat. Choose one thing to change, one behavior, one mindset, one standard, and stay consistent with it. Because legacy is not built in big declarations. I've said this before. It's built in daily decisions. And here's the truth: you don't need to have it all figured out. We can let that pressure go. But you do need to decide not only what stops with you, but what starts with you. The legacy room brings everything into perspective. Because now you're not just building, you're thinking about what lasts. And this is where we need to take it a step further. Because understanding each room individually is one thing, but learning how they all work together, that's where the real transformation happens. So in the next episode, we're going to bring all these core rooms together. We'll talk about what it actually looks like to live out as a complete system. But before that, if this episode spoke to you, don't just move on from it. sit with it for a little bit. Share it with someone who's thinking beyond just in this moment. And if you're building your house with me, make sure you're following the show. That way you don't miss out on the next room. And I want to hear from you. What does legacy mean to you? Drop your answer in the comments. Let's talk about it. Until next time, protect your peace, honor your growth, and keep building your house. I'll see you in the next room.